It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Want to welcome in the PR guru and director and the Grand Admiral when it comes to public relations over at Wizard World Cons. He is coming now back on for the third time. Second time this year. In fact, we had him on earlier. I want to welcome in Get Your Geek On alumni, Jerry Milani. Jerry, how you doing, sir?
I am so good. How are you today?
Simply outstanding. Want to thank you for coming on, taking the time out here as you're wrapping up the Tulsa event and now looking forward to Austin.
Yeah, we have Tulsa coming up this weekend, like you said. So, the preparations and all are almost done. We've got some press we do tomorrow morning just to kind of get the final push of people who somehow may not know that Wizard World Tulsa is going on, but fortunately we've had great response here, as we always have in Tulsa, and we are gearing up now for Austin and Sacramento 2 weeks after Austin, and so we're hitting this very busy portion of our schedule right now. We were just in Chicago 2 weeks ago for our biggest and longest running event, so we are in the teeth of our most busy and most fun part of our schedule.
Now, the last time we spoke to you about Wizard World was in February as the con season was just starting up. How would you say that things have progressed this year compared to other years?
Well, it's been a very good year for us. We've altered the number of shows over the last 7 or 8 years. I'm 9 years with Wizard World now, and when I started, there were 3 shows. We did our New York show, we did our Philadelphia show, and we did our Chicago show. And then as I started, we added a Toronto event, and then soon after we added Austin and New Orleans. So we're going on our 9th year in Austin now, which is tremendous. So we've varied. For a while we were up to 24 shows, and now we've settled in at somewhere between 13 and 16 a year. And I think it's the right number for us. We're still tweaking, figuring out which of our shows that we've tried recently are going to continue and which ones aren't. And the good thing is we know that a show like New Orleans and Austin and Tulsa and Portland and ones that we've done for the past few years are really solid. This year we had some really good performing shows. Chicago was a tremendous event for us, and Philadelphia was as well. We had another nice surprise. I keep calling it a surprise, but it shouldn't be anymore, in Cleveland. So we've had a bunch of shows that have been right there with past years or better. Just about every show this year has been, for our purposes, a success.
Now, we talked about back in February, and we're speaking with Jerry Milani here on Freedom 1160 Talk Radio. We talked about the Speed Pass and how y'all were tinkering with that, testing it maybe at the Portland event. Are there any updates regarding what Speed Pass is and if we'll see it in Austin?
Yeah, what we've really done instead of that, it was hard. We've tried a bunch. Look, we've tried a bunch of programs over the past couple of years. Some have worked well, some have not. What we've done instead is we've revamped how our VIP passes work. So in the past, if you had a VIP for Ron Perlman, that got you all the Ron Perlman stuff. It got you his photograph, his autograph, got him on his Ron Perlman line for speed just for him, and it also got you prime seating in his panel, and that's what it got you. It didn't have any value for the other celebrities. But now what we've done is if you have any VIP, whether it's an individual celebrity or the Wizard World VIP or the gaming VIP or the kids VIP or any of the VIP packages that we offer, that will in its own way become a speed pass for you for all the other celebrities. So if you have the Ron Perlman VIP, but you want to also see Billy Boyd and his line is really long, you can get on the line that's before all the general admission, but then after the VIP specifically for Billy.
So it's like an all-access VIP.
It's an all-access. It doesn't let you go all the way to the front, like with Billy Boyd's VIPs, but you're going to go right behind those.
Wow.
So the idea is that we want to increase the value of having the VIP package. So we have things like a VIP lounge that we introduced late last year or maybe middle of last year, and it's been a real success. It's just a place, sometimes you're at the con and there's no place to sit down, or the only place to sit down is where the food is and all the seats are taken. And there's no place to just put your bags down for a minute and sit or have a beverage. And that's what we've got the VIP lounge for. It's for anyone with any VIP package with that VIP badge. They're able to get into that area and then we have the seating there. And people have liked that we just have a little extra for thanking you for being a VIP who, we love our general admission people as well, but our VIP people, we understand they've made a special commitment to come to our show. And regardless of whether it's because you like a specific celebrity or you're a big anime fan or you have kids that wanted to make sure the kids got the better package, we want that VIP experience to be a little bit better. And part of it is what really was kind of that speed pass function, and this serves as the speed pass, and it gives you an opportunity to experience maybe a few more things, especially if you're coming multiple days, which you should be because there's too much to do in one day.
That is extremely true. I mean, we were there last year, and we couldn't believe everything that was going on, and I look forward to experiencing this VIP lounge from the outside because we're not VIPs, unfortunately.
You'll be able to stand right by that red rope and look longingly at the people with the VIP badge that look so relaxed and calm. How's that?
That's outstanding.
You can live
That's
vicariously
perfect.
through them.
Awesome. Now, Wizard World coming back to Austin the weekend of the 22nd has added some really big names to an already big show, including David Tennant will be coming back. So we'll have two doctors there. We'll have Peter Capaldi and now David Tennant there as well. Did something open up in his schedule? How did y'all land him at the last minute?
Yeah, well, he's one of those guys that it's almost an open invitation. We have, with our scheduling and our talent team, it's a puzzle. The first puzzle for us is putting a schedule together. So we just put our 2019 schedule out in most of its form. It's not complete, but we have most of it out. And then filling in celebrities, when are they available for certain shows? When have they last been in the region? When have they been at our show there before? When can we know what their schedule will be like? Because part of our issue is we'd love to be able to put a name up now for our New Orleans show, which is after Austin, the next big show that we have coming up. Considered like a tier 2 right after Chicago and Philadelphia. Austin and New Orleans are in that realm. We'd love to put some names up for that, but folks just can't commit yet. So Tennant, Capaldi, Mackey, those are ones that have kind of been on the radar, especially somebody like David Tennant, that if he finds out that a date works, it's going to be likely that we're going to go ahead and be able to add him. And he's one that we've always wanted to put a couple of doctors together. You'll see if you look at our shows, for Tulsa, we've put 3 Charmed guests together. We've put a couple of Hellboy guests together. We try to make it so that when fans come, they're going to have a chance to meet multiple people from something that they like. And man, being able to put 2 doctors together is a rare thing for us. Only reserved usually for a Chicago or a Philadelphia. We're really fortunate to be able to have that in Austin.
Well, everything is bigger in Texas, so that's y'all are following through on that for sure.
Well, Kevin Sorbo's going to be there. Hercules, who's bigger than Hercules?
That's very true, very true. Now, speaking of Texas, that football team is playing up on the 40 acres just 2 miles away from the convention center, and it's a big game because TCU, one of the Big 12 favorites, is coming into town. Do you think this is going to be an issue with parking or crowd size or anything like that?
There's always something happening every city we go to. We get that we're not always going to be the biggest event coming into town. In Tulsa, we're often the biggest event the weekend that we're in town, but this year we're not. There's a big grand opening of a park that if I hear one more thing about this park this weekend while I'm here, I'm going to root for rain so that they get rained out of it. I'm only kidding. There's a big grand opening of some billion dollar park for families, and there's some music. And look, we're going to coexist with it. It's Saturday, but it's also in the evening. So we're just telling people, look, it's going to rain on Saturday. Come to Wizard World first, then go in the evening and go, or go Sunday, or go. There's always something big going on. We've had events in Madison Wisconsin, when the Badgers have been playing. We've had events in Austin when UT has been playing before, to be honest. And there's a crossover. There's no doubt there's a crossover in fandom, more so than ever before. I mean, you've been to shows, Dave, you've been going to shows for a long time of all different kinds, whether it's Alamo or one of our shows or any. The demographics of these Wizard World type shows, comic conventions, is broader than it's ever been. So fans are coming that are young ladies together coming, families together, guys with their wives and their girlfriends and their kids, older adults, younger kids. It's a bigger demographic, and that is who goes to football games also. So we get that there'll be some of that where fans are either going to the game or following the game at home or what have you. We don't even know what time that game is yet. That's still a TBD. So that could be a day game or a night game because that's one of those ESPN games. So if it's a night game, it affects us a little bit less even. We know that there are other great things happening in the cities we like to be part of, especially in a city like Austin that we've been to 9 times. It's not our first trip there. That we want to be part of what's happening that weekend, and we hope the fans carve out some time. And look, if you want to meet David Tennant, you want to meet Peter Capaldi, and you also want to go to the football game, then come on Friday and meet David Tennant and Peter Capaldi on Friday, which you should do anyway because Friday's a better day to meet more people that are there anyway. And then go to the football game on Saturday or follow the football game in the afternoon on Saturday. We're comfortable with other things happening, and we hope that we can be part of what's the big features of the weekend.
And besides, when Texas is getting blown out at halftime, you can leave and just walk 2 miles down, and you're at the convention center anyway. So, so that works. Goose, you wanted to chime in?
Yeah. Now, Jerry, here's the thing: they can go to that park any day of the week. They can DVR the football game. They can't record or go back to Wizard World if that day has already passed. Am I right?
It's true. We think our event is an experience event. We had an interesting situation in Chicago this past 2 weeks ago where we had the whole cast of Outlander. I mean, the whole cast. We had all 6 of the leaders plus Diana Gabaldon, who wrote the series, right? Sam, was filming in South Africa and couldn't get back. So we ended up doing a Skype session, but it was individual Skype sessions with people who had purchased. And it was a good experience. It was an okay. Everyone didn't want. Some people, preferred a refund, but the ones who did it had a great experience. But as great as that was, our show is about people interacting not just with the celebrities, but with each other. So like you said, you can go to another football game, or you can watch that game later, or you can do this park event, even though the grand opening is this weekend. You can go another time. Our show is that interaction with people together who love the same things. Doctor Who fans coming to Austin, some of them are going to come to meet David Tennant and Peter Capaldi. Some of them are just coming to be part of everything else that's going on, the panels, maybe there's some merchandise, maybe they're cosplaying, and they're going to meet other fans who love the same thing as they love. And that's the essence of Wizard World. So I like your statement that our show comes once a year. The UT-TCU game only comes once a year also. We get that. But we want to be part of what's going on. And if what you really love is this pop culture, this is your chance to really be a part of what we think has been a growing and more and more fun every year for fans.
Now, in addition to all of these big names that are coming out, what are some of the other highlights that y'all are going to have at Wizard World this year?
We have implemented, and if you were at last year's show, it was the first year that we did this, and the second year has been even more successful. We have an entertainment stage. So when you first come into the event, we still have all the programming and all the panels, and I'll get into that, and it's terrific. But what we added last year and expanded this year is this entertainment stage. So it's the first thing that hits you. So in most venues, it's the first thing as you come in the entrance. Sometimes it's in a lobby area, depending, but it's a big public first hit-you-in-the-face thing that from 4 o'clock on Friday until 4 o'clock on Sunday, when the show closes, literally the entire time, there's something different going on the stage every half hour, 45 minutes, hour, depending on what it is. It might be a musical group. It might be a cosplay little display. It might be karaoke. It might be a magician. It might be a sword demonstration. It might be the kids' costume contest. It might be just Kato Kalin telling some jokes and asking some trivia questions and giving away some prizes. It's been the thing that has been the most different over the last 2 years, I think, just visually at our show and experientially. And it just means that you're going to look over the schedule and look. You're going to know the time that David Tennant's photo op is, and you're going to know the time that Holly Marie Combs and Charisma Carpenter do their awesome female panel together that people really enjoy. So you're going to know those. But then there might be an hour in between those, and you may not necessarily want to get another autograph. You may not necessarily look at the panel schedule for that hour and say there's something really interesting I want to commit 45 minutes to. But I can go over to the stage, and there's going to be something happening. There's going to be music. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be Kato Kalin. He's probably going to make fun of you. It's good. It's part of the environment. That entertainment stage has been the biggest, I think, improvement in the experience of our show, where you don't have to sit there and listen to the music, but it's there. And it's something that fans, I think, have more consistently over the last couple of years, more than anything that we've tried to tweak and do, had really positive feedback on.
We're speaking with Jerry Milani, the PR director from Wizard World here on Freedom 1160. Jerry, in the last couple of minutes that we have here, I want to ask you, I always want to leave on a fun question. And so my question for you is, regardless of genre or franchise, who is the best villain that we've seen? Whether maybe it's David Tennant, who was Kilgrave on Jessica Jones, or someone from a Western or a Bond movie or one of the Marvel films. But out of everything that you've seen and experienced, who is the best villain out there?
Best villain or like the most villainous?
The best villain. So I think overall, I think the easy answer is someone like Lex Luthor, and especially from the original Superman. Like, I don't think anyone can top how Gene Hackman did that. But, Jigsaw, that's a psychological villain, right? Even more so than the physical being in that crazy toilet bathtub thing. The psychological effect on his victims was more so even than I think that makes you think a little bit about that. I'm a big Hawaii Five-0, original Hawaii Five-0 person. It comes up in every conversation I have for whatever reason. Wo-Fat is a great villain. He appeared a bunch of times. They finally caught him at the end, but at the end he's got a nail file or a key or something he pulls out of his wallet. So those are mine, I think. I never saw the Human Centipede, but I can't imagine that guy wasn't a great villain as well. We had, in the year that Human Centipede came out, we had the two girls and the guy who were in the Centipede, and then one of the shows we also had the villain, the doctor from Germany who was the villain in there, who put those poor kids to the Centipede challenge. But I would say those, but I think that if you really overall, it's an easy answer, was Lex Luthor. I wanted to bring a little more to it, but I mean, that performance by Gene Hackman in that original Superman was something that I think even as a youngster when I watched it, I don't know that I saw it in the theater. I think I did see it in the theater. And I'm going to be 50 years old next year, so I saw Star Wars in the theater. So I'm as old as you get. People are jealous of that. They'll be really jealous.
I was 7, 6, 7, whatever I was, 8 years old, and I think that better than anyone is that Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor, Superman original.
Outstanding. All right, Jerry, well, we want to thank you for taking the time out while y'all are prepping for the show up in Tulsa. And, of course, Austin's on the horizon. We will be there to cover it all, and we will be there to get as many pictures and videos and interviews as we possibly can. But thank you, sir, for calling in here on Freedom 1160 KRDY, and you have a good rest of your day.
Looking forward to seeing you and Goose out there.
Outstanding. All right, thank you, sir. So that was Jerry Milani, PR guru, PR Grand Admiral of the Wizard World Convention.